Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta once said, "If you cannot feed 1,000 people, then just feed one."
The reason I started this food bank was to get food out to people that need it. The problem that we've had historically is that the majority of the pantries here just go out and buy it retail from the grocery stores. Occasionally you'll get donations, but you don't get donations what you need. So what I decided to do was to go out and be just like a grocery store. I buy the food. Effectively, the agencies can buy here and get twice the amount of food they would get if they went to a grocery store and bought the food.
There is absolutely no way we could operate and continue to provide without Project Hope Food Bank. Ted Thompson, Becky Choate, and all the wonderful volunteers literally bend over backwards to see that we have what we need in order to fulfill our neighbors in need.
I knew Ted Thompson for a few years before he opened this, and he has done a fantastic job of supplying food that we really need, that's beneficial to us at much less expense. We are thrilled to death to have Project Hope Food Bank here in our community.
The average person would be surprised at the number of veterans that are in this community and that fit also in the bucket of homelessness and despair. So we have a very large pocket of veterans in this area.
I can tell you what it was like before we had the Project Hope Food Bank. I have personally gone into homes where opened the refrigerator of my students to kind of help out there, and there was nothing hardly there. Not anything that you would want to put on your table. And I knew that there were hungry kids. The teachers knew. We tried to keep things there at school, as all schools do. But we didn't have a resource, a way to actually consistently provide for kids.
What we do is we buy food in large lots, and it allows every agency, the big and the small, to have a resource where they can get food and stretch their budgets to be able to help more people.
43 agencies that are served both in Hot Springs, Garland County, Montgomery County. Our tentacles have spread because the need has continued to grow.
I'm thinking about the people that it's helping, and I appreciate the opportunity of being able to help them. And I don't mind the physical work. Luckily, I'm able to do it.
Many of the people that we assist at our food pantry are individuals. They are marginalized in usually all aspects of their life. Of course, it's well known that when you're marginalized in food, you're marginalized in almost every aspect.
By getting food from Project Hope, we are also able to save a lot of funds so that we can do other parts of our ministry.
From the school perspective, I can tell you that before we had Project Hope, the schools could not even begin to meet the needs of our hungry kids.
To impact so many families, we distributed food to 60,000 pantry visits last year. We also provided 315,000 meals, or assisted in providing 315,000 meals and about 60,000 backpacks to young children.
This particular Friday, this little guy, he was an elementary kid, I was a principal, and he had a fever. So I said, well, call his mom, have her to come get him. Well, the nurse came in and said he didn't want to go home. He's just bawling his eyes out. So I thought, well, what in the world? So I got up and I go in there and I said, what, you're sick, you got a fever, you got to go home, it'll be okay, you'll You'll get better when Mom gives you some medicine. You'll feel better. He said, but it's Friday. I don't want to go home. And I go, why not? And he said, because I won't get my food bag if I go home. And it just dawned on me, this kid was not going to have what he knew he needed for the weekend if I sent him home before it was time at the end of the day to go get his food bag. Now, I don't know if that doesn't tug at your heartstrings. Maybe your heartstrings need to be fixed.
Some people are not aware of the situation that the food insecure come from. They kind of know that something exists out there, but really being involved is something that maybe they take a standoff of.
You would be amazed of the number of veterans who need help, who want help.
Nobody wants a kid to go hungry. Everybody wants to do what they can for those children and for the families of those children. Like the parents that I know of that wouldn't ask for a food box, who probably really needed the emergency food box that feeds a whole family of 4 for a week. They just ask me for a backpack of food just for the weekend for their child. And I would say to them, hey, could you use a box of food? Well, yeah, but I didn't want to ask for it. It's not people that's asking for a handout, it's people in our community that are trying to work and put food on the table and a roof over their head and just get the basic essentials for their kids. And isn't that what we all deserve?
Of course, the people that you serve come to you with all different backgrounds. Some of them come and they only want a little bit to get by. They say, I've never had to go to a food pantry before. This is my first time. And they usually come for a short time and then their situation improves. Thank goodness.
Because we are supported by the community through grants and donations, it is only available because of the kindness of people in our community that give and that allow us to be able to reach out to those in need. We could not do it without the community support.
Any amount works. I mean, if I get $10 from 1,000 people, it adds up. The community has been very good to us in helping us continue to get food out to those people in need, and I'll be here as long as the community wants me here. So.
This organization, Project Hope Food Bank, has always been part of my heart. I've tried to support it from time to time the best that we could, my husband and myself, but the reality is, honestly, it is a major, major miracle what Ted and Becky have been able to do to provide for us as nonprofits. It's their heart.
Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta once said, if you cannot feed 1,000 people, then just feed one.
Thousands of people in our area go to bed hungry every night. You can be part of the solution. Project Hope needs volunteers to help in the warehouse. And regardless of the amount, your financial contribution makes a meaningful impact. And your contribution stays right here in our area. The information to volunteer or contribute is on your screen. Thank you in advance from Project Hope Food Bank.